Great, you can start.
Cool, thank you. Good morning, grade 2s. How are you all today?
Fine. Fine.
Very good. All right, so let us get started. Grade 2s, my name is Rohini Pillay, and I'll be your literacy teacher for this week. Okay, it's a little bit of a tricky. So you may call me Ro. All right, so you may call me Ro. To the parents, thank you so much for allowing your kids to be with us today. I'm so happy to see that we've got so many new children with us. Grade 2s, today is the 4th of May. Can you see the date in the speech bubble? All right, so today is the 4th of May. Good. All right, so let us go and have a look and see what we'll be doing today. So we're going to be doing some rhyming words, and I've got something interesting for you. With rhyming words, we've also got our story time and some verbs. So let's get moving. So here is our rhyming word surprise. So what you are going to do, you're going to listen to Mr. Jack, and he's going to tell you some words. And you are only going to exercise when the words rhyme. Are you ready to start? So stand up where you are, make sure you've got some space around you, and you must listen carefully. Okay, so use your little ears. Are you ready? Let's go.
Everybody up! Let's rhyme and exercise. Exercise when I say two words that don't freeze each time. Exercise, rhyme and freeze. Exercise, rhyme and freeze. Let's walk and listen. Dog, frog. Dog, log. Dog, pig. Dog, hog. Stretch up high, left and right. Listen, can, man. Can, cow. Can, fan.
Everything to you slowly. So resistors are made of materials that resist or oppose the flow of electrons in a circuit. So we say resistors. Resistors are made up of materials. So the main thing here is that it resists or it opposes. Opposes means to resist the flow of electrical current in a circuit. Okay, so resistors in a circuit have an influence on the amount of electrical flow in that circuit. So basically what this means is that the resistor influences how much of current is flowing in the circuit. Okay, so it controls the amount of electrical current in the circuit. So you get some resistors that's including bulb filaments, heating wires, elements in kettles, heaters, geysers, stoves.
Exercise, rhyme and freeze. Exercise, rhyme and freeze. Exercise.
And the resistance wire is connected to two contact points. So if you looked at a bulb, I'm sure most of you have, at the end, at the bottom of it, there's two contact points. And then it has one end of a screwing part, that's the casing, and the other end of a solder knob at the bottom. And these two contacts are separated by an insulator. And I'll explain what an insulator is. Okay, so you're going to ask yourself.
He asks you, what is a verb? You will tell them that it is a doing word or a word used to describe an action. All right, so now I'm going to read a story to you. First of all, you're only going to use your eyes and your ears. And the second time we read the story, we're going to see if you can identify some verbs. Okay, so let's have a look. What is the title of our story? How a zebra got its stripes. Don't forget to look at the pictures as well. They're all beautifully illustrated. All right. A long, long time ago, all zebras were white. And there we see a few zebras standing on the hill. What do you think they are looking at? Mr. and Mrs. Zebra were invited to a party. They wanted to look pretty, so they painted themselves in bright colors. And there you see Mr. and Mrs. Zebra. They've painted themselves in bright green and bright red. Can you see the two paint pots on the floor? And the two paint brushes they've got? They looked at each other and Mrs. Zebra said, "We really don't look smart." Mrs. Zebra painted her chest black and Mr. Zebra painted his legs black. So there we see Mr. and Mrs. Zebra painting themselves. And can you see that little monkey at the top? He's having a look and he's watching Mr. and Mrs. Zebra painting themselves. But they didn't like the way they looked, so they washed off the paint. Then they painted black stripes all over their bodies. They looked at each other and liked what they saw. "Now we look pretty," they said. Off they went to the party. There you see they're painting stripes on one another. Beautiful black stripes. When Mr. and Mrs. Zebra arrived at the party, the other animals loved the way they looked. "You look pretty," said the elephant. "You look beautiful," said the hippo. "You look lovely," said the rhino. "Thank you very much," said Mr. and Mrs. Zebra. "We also like our stripes." There all the animals at the party having some snacks, complimenting Mr. and Mrs. Zebra, telling them how beautiful or how lovely they look. I see Mrs. Rhino even has a hat on her head and there are balloons hanging from the branches. They're having a lovely party. Everyone at the party liked their stripes. Even King Lion told them how beautiful they looked. And there on the right-hand side of the page, can you see that delicious cake? Wow, look how beautiful and colorful it is. All having a lovely party with one another, with their friends, eating lovely, delicious snacks. King Lion asked all the zebras to paint black stripes on their bodies. And so they did. They're painting black stripes on one another. A few days later, the zebras went to the river to wash off the stripes, but the stripes did not come off. The sun had burnt the stripes into their bodies. Oh dear, so there they are at the river trying to scrub the black stripes off, but the black stripes are not coming off. To this day, zebras still can't wash off their stripes. That is why all zebras have black stripes. And there you see all the zebras have their black stripes. You're all walking over the hill. Can you all see that? Can you count how many zebras you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one far at the back. Good. So let's read the story again and identify all the verbs in the story. We're going to identify all the doing words. Okay, so I'm going to go right to the beginning again. So we're going to start off at the beginning. And you are going to write the verbs on your page. Okay, so I'm going to ask each child or whoever raises their hand what the doing words are in the sentences. You are going to tell the class and we're all going to write it down on our piece of paper, okay? And Ro will underline it on the screen. All right, so let's have a look at the first page. A long, long time ago, all zebras were white. Are there any verbs on this page? Raise your hand if you find a verb and I'll unmute you and then you can tell the class. Sibachle.
Yes.
Are there any verbs on this page?
Yes.
Which one is a verb? Remember, verbs are doing words. Are there any verbs, sweetheart?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is a verb? Which word? Do you know? Should I let you try a little bit later?
Yes.
Okay. So have a look. We don't see any doing words there. All right, let's move to the next page. Mr. and Mrs. Zebra were invited to a party. Are there any verbs in that sentence? All right, I see Lorato raised her hand. Lorato, are there any verbs in that sentence? Mr. and Mrs. Zebra were invited to a party. Spume?
They painted themselves.
Remember, we're doing one sentence at a time. Mr. and Mrs. Zebra were invited to a party. What is the verb in that sentence?
Invited.
Very good. Invited. So let me find my pen And let's underline invited. Good. All right. Spume, don't go anywhere. I want you to try this page for us. Okay.
Yes.
They wanted to look pretty, so they painted themselves in bright colors. Are there any other verbs in this sentence? Spume,
They painted themselves in bright colors.
which is the verb? Think carefully now. Read the sentence and think carefully. Remember, a verb.
So they painted themselves in bright colors. No, it didn't let me to myself.
Look. Can you see that?
Yes.
Good. So there we've got look. Good. All right, let's go to the next page of words. Come on, move on to the next slide. All right, let's have a read. They looked at each other and Mrs. Zebra said, "We really don't look smart." Are there any verbs in that sentence? They looked at each other and Mrs. Zebra said, "We really don't look smart." Who would like to tell the class? Are there any verbs in that sentence? Aisha,
Yes.
are there any verbs in that sentence? They looked at each other and Mrs. Zebra said, "We really don't look smart."
So write down the answer.
Are there any verbs in that sentence?
Really?
Write down the answer.
Think carefully.
Video.
Doing words.
Switch off your video. And everyone please switch off their video. So I gave you a video.
What is this word that I'm underlining?
Write down the answer.
Look.
Is that a doing word?
So that now you get
Yes.
Good. And what is this word I'm underlining?
from here on out.
Say.
Good. Is that a doing word? Yes, Mrs. Zebra said, "We really don't look smart." Good. Well done. All right, class. Let us go to the next sentence. Mrs. Zebra painted her chest black and Mr. Zebra painted his legs black. All right, that's a bit of a tricky one because I know you are all thinking about the word painted and I know you all want to shout that word out, but painted is an adjective. All right, let us move to the next slide. All right, so we're starting off with the first sentence, this one. But they didn't like the way they looked, so they washed off the paint. What is the doing word in this sentence? Klami.
Looked.
Oh, good. And there's another one.
Paint.
Have a look. Look carefully.
Wash.
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 Good girl. Washed. All right. Very good. Grade 2. Right. Let's go to the next sentence. Then they painted black stripes all over their bodies. Remember, painted is an adjective, all right? They looked at each other and liked what they saw. Now we look pretty, they said. Off they went to the party. Good. Now remember, we've already identified looked. So you've got that on your page. Are there any other verbs on this page? Let's see who we can unmute. Umpile.
Wished.
What is the doing word, the verb in this sentence? We've got looked.
The next look.
The next look, okay? And what other word do you see?
Said.
What other word do you see, boys?
They said.
Said, good. And what else do you see? What else do you see?
Still thinking.
You're still thinking, all right. It's a little bit tricky because it's past tense, okay. They liked what they saw. Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Right, let's move on to the next slide. When Mr. and Mrs. Zebra arrived at the party, the other animals loved the way they looked. Are there any verbs in that sentence? Tutunkani?
Arrived.
Very good. Arrived. Great job. Do you see any other? When Mr. and Mrs. Zebra arrived at the party, the other animals loved the way they looked. Do you see any other? Lorato? Slami?
Looked.
All right, we've got looked. Good. All right. You look pretty, said the elephant. You look beautiful, said the hippo. You look lovely, said the rhino. Thank you very much, said Mr. and Mrs. Zebra. We also like our stripes. So there we've already identified some of those verbs. Very good, grade 2s. You're all doing so well. Good. Everyone at the party liked their stripes. Even King Lion told them how beautiful they looked. Good, and there you know those verbs. Very good. King Lion asked all the zebras to paint black stripes on their bodies. So now King Lion's asked them to paint black stripes on their body. Are there any verbs in this sentence? Sibahle,
Yes.
which verb have you identified? Asked. Good. That is a doing word. The King Lion asked all the zebras to paint black stripes on their bodies. Good, Sibahle. Well done. A few days later, the zebras went to the river to wash off the stripes, but the stripes did not come off. Let us identify the verbs in that sentence. Let's see if there's anyone else who would like to answer. Kumo,
Yes.
do you see any verbs in this sentence?
Mm. Wash.
Wash, good. Do you see any more?
I don't think so.
Great, very good. Well done. All right. The sun had burnt the stripes into their bodies. Are there any verbs in this sentence? Let's see if we've got someone else who can answer for us. Aisha,
Yes. Burnt.
are there any verbs?
Burnt.
Very good. Burnt. Well done. Sure, you're all so clever. Well done, grade twos. To this day, zebras still can't wash off their stripes. That is why all zebras have black stripes. And we've all identified wash as a class. You all know that that is a doing word. Very good. And there we've got all our beautiful zebras with their black stripes. Great job. Well done, grade twos. All right, so please remember, we need to read every day. Okay, Ro has got a name of an app over here. If you can read that, it says Rivet. Okay, if your mommies and daddies are not with you at the moment, you can ask them to please download the app Rivet. Okay, it's a great app where you can download as many books as you like. Okay, so I'd like you to at least read 2 books a day. All right, they don't have to be big. I would just like you to read. All right, grade twos? I hope you all had a lovely lesson today. Thank you so much for being so well behaved and participating. And I will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. All right, here is your homework. You need to read a story like I told you and try and identify 5 verbs in the story. Okay? And I'd also like you to practice your writing. So I want you to write 3 sentences about what you did this weekend. Okay, so don't forget to read your stories and identify the verbs in the stories and write 3 sentences about what you did this weekend. Okay, have a lovely afternoon and I will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye.